So good evening, good afternoon to everybody. You join us for the back end of the Brock Trophy Round 1 from Sandown. Alongside me we've got Colin Bruns and fresh out of the race, David Kinnaman. David will come to you in a minute. Colin, welcome along.
Thanks, mate.
Looking like an awesome race so far. So in the lead we've got Rob Herbert from Brett Clark, Scott Bainsworth third, Stephen H in fourth, Troy Allen fifth, Bert Van Jay sixth, Bruce Duncan seventh, Matthew Mikes eighth, Nick Winkler ninth, Daryl Bennett 10th, I think is the last runner. And then out of the race, Dave Kinnaman, Wim Pengelly and Norman Clark. So Dave, just come to you first of all. You were out in the lead, I believe, at the time when you got taken out.
I believe I was behind Rob, but effective lead because I had a pit stop in hand over him.
So, from your perspective, what actually happened?
Well, I've looked at the replays as well, so I've got a pretty good perspective of things. He came out of the slow corner at the end of the back straight and lit up the rear tyres. He came across the track into me, which is the third time he's done that this season. Then he went off track, came back onto the track and decided that hit wasn't enough, so he basically he pit turned, manoeuvred me.
That's a terrible way to end the first round, Dave. That's obviously going to completely destroy your championship lead at the moment with 300 points on offer for the race winners. So a bit of a double blow there, being an enduro as well.
I can't even express how upset I am. I've worked really hard this year for this, and to quote David Reynolds, he's dead to me. If he's racing with us again, I won't be.
Fair enough. So there we have it firsthand. Championship leader out of the race through no fault of his own. Colin, your car, some strange issues when somebody else jumped in and took your car and left both you and Wayne without a drive.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I pitted and expected Wayne to take over, and it wasn't Wayne. So I'm not too sure what happened there. Someone else was driving it, and that was kind of the end of our race, I think, mate. It was all going well up to then.
So I think that's the first instance in motor racing that we have of a stolen car.
Hijack for sure. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. We didn't come into it with a perfect game plan, but I think we're kind of consistent and just sort of just went to shit.
Excellent. So
Excuse the French.
out in the lead then we have Rob Herbert. That's pretty much what we expected, but it's been a bit of a challenge for him to actually he's just making a stop now, so soon there'll be a driver swap as well. But I think we've complained ever since Rob's disappeared that Dan's been struggling without a teammate, but it's certainly proved true today when Dan appears to have upped his pace to not too far off Rob.
A bit unlucky in his in Dan's first stint. He got caught up with the other Vegemite driver, Scott Taylor, and they were having quite a battle. I actually drove right up to the back of him and decided that I wanted no part of it, so pitted early and undercut them quite substantially. So yeah, a little bit unlucky that Dan got into that fight, but he probably didn't need to, which brought the Red Bull car back into the clutches of my car whilst I was in it.
I say we've also got our other co-commentator who's normally in the booth with us, Troy Allen there. He's down in 5th position and doing quite nicely. That was the pole sitting car, so there was a little bit of a change before the race there where Kai couldn't make it and Troy jumped in, so he's took a lot on there, hasn't he, Col?
Oh, for sure, mate. Yeah. To do it on your own, yeah, it's a fair effort. I actually thought I would have been doing it on my own tonight, and Wayne managed to get there in time. So yeah, it definitely makes a big difference. I guess not only to have a team member on the track and in the car with you, it's just as important to have him on the comms and let him know what's going on around you, and just just give you that extra bit of help. So definitely pays off.
Absolutely, a bit of a mammoth race this, to say the least. So we've got a bit of a change coming into the 99 car. So Wim Pengelly, who unfortunately through no fault of his own didn't get a lap, is going to take over this car for the final stint, which sort of frees us up to bring the rest of the race to everybody. So that should be happening anytime soon, I would imagine.
Oh, sorry, mate. I missed that one. I was just on comms.
That's alright, so just looking, looks like Rob Herbert's still in the lead there. Dave, is that correct?
Yes, he is. He's 32 seconds ahead of Scott Bainsworth.
So we've had a driver change in the 69 car from Brett Clark over to Ian Hannon, and they've dropped out to third position now as well. So there's quite a difference between some of the driver pairings in this, Dave, isn't there?
There really is a typical kind of V8 supercar situation where you've got a full-time driver and a part-time driver in terms of the actual pace of them. Naturally, we all race in this series, but your teams that have quite an equal footing in terms of pace are probably Red Bull, 555 when my teammate Gavin Cox does turn up, and I'd say your 111 car, Colin and Wayne, pretty much at the same kind of pace.
Yeah, I think that's very highlighted, especially with the 69 car. Obviously, we've got two-time V8 Supercars champion Brett Clark in there, and then we've got Ian, who on his day can be right up there, but I'm sure Ian will be the first to say that certainly doesn't have the pace that Brett does. But they're doing quite well. They're sitting nice and pretty in third position. But for me, I suppose the surprise, unfortunately for you as well, is the Bainsworth car that appears to be holding second position for now.
Yeah, I noticed he's been given a stop-go penalty, but he hasn't taken it, and it's been over 5 laps, so there may be a black flag coming up.
Oh,
that's a
bit of a moment there with Ian Hannon then. Sorry, guys.
Interesting point you make there. Yeah, I've just seen that as well. That was very close. Yeah, I suppose if we talking to our viewers as well, it is quite difficult to jump into these cars completely, ready to go on a fresh stint. You haven't been in the car in the last stint. Track conditions have changed. The grip levels are different. And we have seen it before with obviously Russell Ingall and Marcus Ambrose when I think it was Ingall who went and parked it in the boondocks straight out of the pits, didn't he?
It's very, very difficult, even in practice. When I was going out, you're on green tyres as well, and it does take about a lap to get them up to speed. Very, very easy on this track to come out and go straight off at turn 1.
Absolutely. Turn 1 here.
Yeah, for sure.
Turn 1 here is somewhere you definitely don't want to be stuck out in.
Yeah, it was common talk on our team radio that when there was a pit stop happening, cold tyres, come out slow, turn 1. I would like to make mention that my teammates for this race, Chris McCall and Bert Van Jay, have been absolutely fantastic. Their spotting whilst being the non-driver, they've really stepped up and done a fantastic job.
So on that lap, it looks like Ian Hannon has moved back into second position in the Rizla Nissan there. The Bainsworth car has made a pit stop, I believe.
Yeah, Ian Hannon has been doing really well tonight. He's certainly one that's hard to get around. The boot's about 40 foot wide. I know that when I've been behind him, but no, he's going good. Good on him.
Tell me about it. I've been racing them all year in the Euro Series. I just cannot seem to get around them half the time.
Yeah, we've had some really good battles. Even with the GT3s last night, it's probably one of the best races I've had. It's just someone you can sit behind and you know how he drives, and he drives clean. He brakes where he should, and he's a consistent driver that you can sit behind.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing as well, is you'd think by this point of the season, we're just coming back to you, Dave, you'd think by this part of the season that drivers would be more predictable and you'd be able to understand what they're going to do next.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I think we've got a pretty good crew in that regard. I know, like Colin said, Ian's always predictable in where he's going to brake. Naturally, some of the top guys are always really predictable. Not trying not to harp on about it, but it should have been predictable to me what Scott was going to do. I should have just stood behind him.
Yeah, we've got one of our regular viewers on here, Dave. He's just asking what actually happened, so you just want to walk us through it? as to where you were on track and how you seen it?
Yeah, we were coming up to, I believe it's turn 11, which is the slow left-hander at the end of the long back straight. And I managed to get up the inside of Scott Bainsworth, or at least start to poke my nose there. He spun up the tyres trying to get a good exit and came across the track into me. And I, wasn't expecting that because I gave him a little bit of a love tap. But then when he came back onto the track off the grass, he hit me in the rear quarter panel on the left-hand side and spun me into the wall, which caused my engine to blow up, and I was out of the race and probably lost the championship now.
No, well, Troy's just had a moment there too, you guys. Yeah, it's very disappointing, mate. Sad to hear that one. The amount of practice that goes into it, and it just ends so easy.
Yeah, and I don't mind if it's my own mistake or what have you, but to have the same driver who's hit me in 2 other races previously this year do it again in what looked to be such a deliberate move, I don't know what to say. My only point now here is hoping for a DNF from Rob and Dan in one of the next 2 races, which I never want to. I never want to hope for a DNF.
Don't wish that upon anyone.
Yeah, of course, but swings and roundabouts. There's another 161 laps of Bathurst for people to try to survive as well. So there's every chance something could happen. At least it's happened if it was going to happen, at least it's happened in the first out of the 3 Enduros. Dave, I suppose, is the only good thing you can bring out of that.
Unfortunately, I'm a bit of an analyst by trade. I can't see how that becomes an advantage at all. I guess I do know now that the job is harder, but to beat Dan and Rob by the points required of me now, it's not looking good. And like Colin said, I'm not wanting to wish a DNF on anyone. I want everyone to finish and to race clean and not have disconnections. I want it to be on the track.
Yeah, of course, but unfortunately this one's been taken off the track for you, and the only thing I meant by, at least it's the first one, is there's 2 other huge races for something to happen. Not that we wish it to happen, but at least you've still got an opportunity to get back in there, possibly.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess also, being my first season and my teammates' first season, I guess it gives everyone a chance. I know there's a lot of new guys in here now, so it gives them a chance to just, have a feel and just see what it's all about. And hopefully everyone can, even including myself, is, get enough practice and enough skill to be able to run with the front guys and not have any dramas. And I think next year's going to be insane, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, it does take a season, and I'm sure you'd agree with me, Dale. It does take at least a season to get up to speed and to be able to understand what these cars are doing throughout a race.
Absolutely. I mean, in the first race of last season, which was my first race, I was hoping for top 6, and that kind of remained my goal for the first half of the season. And then I gradually managed to get a little bit faster, and I ended up getting 3rd in the championship. I think with the quality of some of the drivers we've attracted recently, that this was my golden opportunity to really take home a championship. If next season we have Rob Herbert back, if his internet gets sorted, if we've got Brett Clark back, Scott Taylor permanently, Bert Van Jay permanently, Kai Turner having improved so much this season, I'm still going to enjoy it, but I imagine I'll be fighting for 4th and 5th instead of 1st in the championship, so bit of a golden opportunity missed.
Definitely. I think you might still be lucky, Dave. I'm a bit of an optimist rather than a pessimist, so I'm still rooting for you. Hang in there.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, mate. Yep. Just to let you know, Wayne Pengilly's jumped into 7th. He's obviously taken over from Bruce. Gets a drive tonight.
So yeah, he's running his first.
It's not his car, but
it's it wasn't his car earlier as well. Somebody nicked it. So.
You guys are just doing the Brock approach. This is the Brock Trophy after all.
Pretty much, yeah. If you can drive it, get in. So, yeah. So
I should get into Bert's car. Score some points. I don't think I'd actually score points, would I? I mean, if I will, then I'll friggin' jump in.
Might be worth a check on that one.
It's worth a shot. Give me a moment to just go speak to Bert.
See if you can go speak to Dan as well. Just ask him.
Yeah, good point. It'll be a very hard conversation for Dan. I mean, he's the main benefactor here.
Yeah, I suppose.
I know he'd be open and honest, but it's very, very difficult to be put in that position.
This is true. So we're just looking at Pengelly on screen now as well, see what sort of lap times he's running. Obviously, he's completely green to this track. He hasn't had one lap so far. So
Peroxide moved to Sunday's session.
He seems to settle in alright.
yeah. So what was that? Just looking at that last lap, there was 107.494. The fastest lap for that car was done by yours truly, 107.133. So he's already right up to pace. I think he's a lap behind the car in front, from what I can see.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, he's going to have to go some. But you know, if they keep trying that car to the end, there's every chance.
Well, anything can happen, mate. There's still plenty of time to go, and yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
That's the bonus of the endurance is it's anyone's race.
Definitely, it looks like Dan Stevens has just taken over the race leading car. He's got almost a full lap. In fact, he has a full lap ahead of the second place car of Ian Hannon. So just stroking it home for the 33 Mercedes, I would imagine, at this point.
Yeah, everyone's been fairly consistent. What do we got? We got Bainsworth in third, Stephen H in fourth, Bert Van Jay in fifth, Troy Allen sixth, Wayne Pengelly seventh, Matthew Mites in eighth, Nick Winkler in ninth, Darryl Bennett in 10th. So, still a fair few cars out there. I actually thought there would have been a few more DNFs, but that's good to see.
Yeah, so we've only really got the 3 DNFs. Dave Kinnaman, obviously. Your car, the 111 car, which was stolen and driven for a few laps. And Norman Clark car, which ran out of fuel. And it's a bit unfortunate for Norman. It's happened a couple of times this season, so they're obviously getting a miscalculation somewhere on the fuel out there.
At least the weather's held up, unlike our last race. It's good to see.
Totally, this is one place that the weather is not your friend. If it tips it down here, that turn 1, and
oh my god,
the last couple of turns off the back straight as well. It's just an absolute nightmare to try and get a car turned in there.
It's hard enough in the dry, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So we've got 30 laps remaining from the looks of it. I can't believe it, we've made it this far. There's 131 laps in by the leader at this point in time. And we've still got 10 cars running, so that's pretty good.
Peroxide entered channel.
Yeah. Not too bad at all.
Hey Steve, I've spoken to Bert, he's already done his pit stop, so it's not advantageous for us to do it, but if we can catch Troy, we might be able to take a decent position back, so I might jump in the car and worry about the points later on.
Fair enough, yep.
If I don't put myself in the position, then I can't argue it later.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not committing to anything until we've spoken afterwards, but yeah, why not?
I appreciate that, and Dan's back in his car now, I think, so no talking to him.
Totally. Yeah, that remains to be resolved after the race. We could end up with 2 cars booted out or not, but, you know, get on track.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately booting them out doesn't give me any points, but that's why I've got to at least try getting in this car.
Why not? Best of luck, Dave.
Thank you.
So yeah, Colin, just trying to see there. We've got
Peroxide
the
moved to V8
top three
Supercars.
cars are on the same lap, so the gap to the leaders is 48 seconds from Ian Hannon to Dan Stevens, and it does look like, and yet we're on track now. We've got Bainsworth right underneath Ian Hannon, so Ian will be hoping that that car is as wide as we are normally used to here. So we're just coming up the back straight now. We've got Pengelly going out of shot there, and we've got Bainsworth tucked right underneath the rear wing of that Nissan.
Yeah, oh, I'm just watching Bainsworth now. Yeah, Ian definitely knows where to put the car. He won't just let you have it either. So, depending on how tyres are going at the moment, I don't know. I'm going to sit back and watch this one.
This is Bainsworth's got very loose there coming off as well. He's lost quite a few car lengths. He's got Daryl Bennett shoved up the rear end of it as well. It's another lap car.
Yeah, that might be putting a bit of pressure on him at the moment. I would say Bennett's probably got fresh tyres. I'm not too sure, but he's got the speed, so maybe let him go for the moment. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think a lap car should just back off and let a gap develop between them, especially when this is for second place in the race.
Yeah, it's been 133 laps so far. You do not want to throw it away now. I think Ian Hannon and Bainsworth's one to watch right now.
Oh, Bainsworth down
and
the
there
inside.
it is. He's let him through. It's a smart move. He's got the speed. It's not.
Oh, he's come straight back at him.
Oh. Yeah, I think let him go. Let him go. Just stay on him and make your move when you can.
Yeah, I would say they will be switching up from Hannon to Clark in the last pit stop as well, which that should add a couple of seconds or take a couple of seconds off the average lap speed for that car. So they've still got a chance of a good second place finish here.
Yeah, for sure, mate. For sure. It's yeah, still anyone's race. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I suppose Ian's got to. I'm very worried about that Bennett car behind the third place car. It just looks out of shape everywhere and out of control. That's the last thing Ian needs.
Oh, mate, I'd absolutely hate to see him get taken out here. You know, it's just not worth it.
I can imagine what the co-driver is saying on the radio right about now.
I hope so. Because he's definitely the eyes in the back of your head.
Absolutely. So we've got lap 135 in the books for race leader Dan Stevens. He's 47 seconds in the lead, 48 seconds in the lead. He's keeping that gap and managing it nicely.
Yeah, he's going good, mate. Yeah, Bainsworth's holding it pretty well too. There's a good gap going there. I'm not seeing too much changing unless the tyres give way.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking there, so Pengelly has finally done the fastest lap in that car, so he's coming up to speed now. So 107.084, so he's just taken out my fastest lap. Thanks, Wayne.
Yeah, he's going good.
Yeah, we just got her on screen right now as well. So in a nice, comfortable 7th position there. He's gaining 2 seconds a lap on the Troy Allen car in 6th position, but I imagine they'll switch up to Wayne there in the final stop. So there's a bit more pace to come out of that car. So he just needs to keep it up, just need for these 2 stints.
That's it. Just keep it on. Try and get some points at the end. Don't push too hard. Don't crash unnecessarily. And the points at the end. I mean, we still got 2 enduros to go. So there's a lot of points to be had there. Oh, yeah. So just keep it on. Get points.
Yeah, it's interesting to see there as well that just looking at Stephen's lap time, and he is pretty much the fastest car on track at the moment as well. That's pretty impressive stuff when you've got a lead of 49, almost 50 seconds now to be throwing down those type of laps.
You just can't stop these guys. They're just punching them out.
they're a machine, but I do fear if there's any rain at any of the other endurance, this car will struggle, because we've seen, particularly in the last round there when it rained, Dan went from the lead to absolutely nowhere. The car looked like an absolute handful to drive as well, so maybe a little bit of a weakness in the Mercedes armour yet.
Yeah, it was. I was around him a fair bit of that race, and he was struggling for sure. It's definitely unlike him, so something's been going on lately with the car. I'm not sure what's going on, but it looks like he's sorted it. But yeah, just keep the rain away, and he'll be right.
Yeah, it's just looking down in 4th place. We've got Jimmy Hoffley, who's been driving a pretty decent race all the way through. He's kept it clean, kept the pace up there, so he's looking for a nice 4th position. He's a lap behind the 3rd place car, so it's between him and the Bert Van Jay car for 4th position. There's about 10 seconds between them on track, so this one's not over yet.
No, there's a few bubbles going on. There's a little bit of action starting to close in, and I'm just watching Bainsworth now. He's got a bit of a lap traffic coming up, so see if we can get around it clean.
Yep, clean being the optimum word there. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, well, it's. I just have to watch him and see what happens, but.
So we just got Daryl Bennett car there on screen, the Wild Turkey Volvo. It's he's had plenty of pace through, right? But he seems to be just eating the tires. He seems to be almost driving every stint like a sprint race, which is hurting him overall, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's you want to keep up with the pack, but you're killing your tyres if you haven't got the right setup, which I felt I didn't have tonight. Yeah, you're just going to kill your tyres at the end of the day. It's catch-22.
Yeah, absolutely. He's on lap 129, I believe. The leader's on lap 139, so 10 laps down. He's almost spun it there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's amazing to see that there's we've got 10 cars running, and at least 8 of them, 6 or 8 of them, have all found themselves on the same part of the track at this point.
It is interesting, and you don't know who to overtake and who to let go, and it's. I hope the teammates are filling them in, who you have to chase down, who you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, just got the replay of what happened with Bainsworth and Kidderman there, and geez, that was pretty out of order.
Very ugly.
Ugly, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the stewards at the end of the race will sort that one out. Yeah, you've just gotta take it. It's hard. It's hard. You're pushing hard. You know, you may be new or you're not, but it's just gotta be careful, I guess. We've all been there. We've all pushed too hard and taken someone out we shouldn't have, and it does happen, but hopefully we learn from it.
Definitely. So we've got 21 laps remaining. It's all going to come down to whether people are going to stop again or not.
Yeah, this is the part that sort of it'll sort of concrete your position, I think.
So we've just got Dave Kidderman returning to track in the number 5 Ford Falcon there. So Dave's obviously planning. Ooh, he's almost lost it straight away.
Just had a moment there.
Keen to get on. Dave's obviously hoping that this can be sorted out in his favour by the stewards afterwards. I suppose they'll have to look at this and check the rulebook and see what's allowed and what's not.
Yeah.
But I suppose fair play to him for trying something. You've got to try and do what you can.
Oh, exactly. Everyone's competitive, mate. We all want to win. I guess, yeah, some people push a little bit harder than others, and we've all done it. Once again, it's racing. It happens.
Definitely, and I believe we've got Troy Allen joining us in the box. Good evening, Jaws.
Yeah, g'day, show.
G'day, mate. How you going?
That wasn't
Good, Colin.
Wasn't a bad old stint there at all from yourself.
No, it was all right up until probably about the middle of the stint, where coming out of the final turn there, the car just suffered a massive amount of understeer, ploughed the wall, so there was an extra stop there, and then so pretty much from then on I just was on in qualifying mode.
Yeah, we had something similar as well. I took over the car from Bruce, past Daryl Bennett, I think at the time. Was starting to pull away nicely, and then just lost a bit of concentration into turn one, and spun it and beached it. So it took about 30 seconds to get that one back on track. So can it happen to any of us?
Yeah, mate, it does. But I've noticed that Pengelly's jumped into the Vauxhall.
Yeah, we've had a couple of driver changes, which the stewards will have to look at afterwards, whether it's allowed or disqualified. We've got Dave Kinnaman, who got wiped out in a pretty shitty move, to be honest. He got taken out of the second place in the race. That's the championship leader, obviously. Car engine went, and he's jumped himself into the number 5 555 Racing Falcon. So I imagine there's going to be some discussion after this.
Gee, that reminds me of I think it was 1987 when Peter Brock jumped into the spare V8 Commodore.
Well, it is the Brock Trophy.
There you
go. People are.
It's fitting. Hey guys, I'll be back in 1 minute.
Not a problem, Colin. Yeah, so it's something to see what happens afterwards, but you've got to give it to them for, at least trying it.
Well, you never know. You never have a go, do you?
What is it? It's better to ask forgiveness than ask permission, I believe is the phrase.
It's easier to ask forgiveness than beg permission.
I have no idea what's going to happen at this point with this, with these two cars, but we decided as a team we were stuck in 7th or 8th anyways, and it wasn't right that Wayne and Colin put in all the work and Wayne didn't get to drive because somebody stole his car. I believe that's we were discussing earlier, it's the first incident of somebody stealing a V8 Supercar on track in a race.
Have we found a culprit yet?
We haven't. The culprit very nicely parked the car, which then parked it for both the drivers rather than letting them swap back, which was a bit of a nuisance to say the least.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying.
Just a bit. We had the team radio going at the time, and annoying isn't the phrase I would use for what was being said.
Okay, let me just say a massive piss off.
Something along the lines of an airplane crash would have been more like it.
With a few expletives.
More or less, you could say that.
Dear oh dear. But looking at this, Steve, it's Rob Herbert's pretty much got this race sewn hosed.
Well, it's Dan Stevens in the car at the moment, and we did hint at, we have been saying all season that Dan has looked somewhat lost without a teammate. We've seen the practice lap time from him, which was a 1:06 dead, which I think was about 5 or 8 tenths faster than he'd gone up until that point. So it's not just been a one-man show here. Dan obviously had the teammate come back, and he's found the pace as well, which is about time for this part of the season.
Oh, it definitely has been. I mean, we all know that he's been struggling quite somewhat without having his teammate there, and now that I don't know, his yin to his yang is there, it's shown.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing to see. We've always said, we need a teammate, and it's definitely shown up here. They're 47 seconds in the lead. I'll spit the bricks out there. Over at the Scott Bainsworth car, there is, what have we got? 16 laps remaining, I believe, Troy?
Give me 2 seconds and I'll let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, 16 laps
145.
remaining. So it's going to come down to who do the pit.
Well, I know we were going for a 20-lap stint at the back end, but after my little mishap there, we decided, you know what, we'll just do the bare minimum 65 laps, and then we'll throw Wayne in for a 24-lap stint at the end. So he's got good tyres, light fuel, and see how he goes home.
He's on the back of the race leader at the moment as well, trying to unlap himself. So hopefully Dan breathes on the throttle a little bit here. You don't need to be fighting this car.
That's one thing I have noticed. Even though the guys were trying to unlap themselves, they never, or I think it might have been Scott Taylor, never sort of really breathed out of the throttle to allow the car to unlap himself. He just kept on driving.
I will say I had the opposite experience, which was great with Jimmy Hoffa. I had fresher tyres and better pace at that point of the lap, and he let me pass and let me get on with it for about 10 or 15 laps, and then I returned the favour afterwards. So good driving there by Jimmy. And
Yeah, we
as we
had
say
a
there,
moment there with the Hopper boys.
yeah, and as we say there, Wayne gets past, Dan lets him pass there for the lead. Still 47-second gap back to second position, and I don't think this car is going to stop again. From my notes, it's only about 15 laps into a stint here, 16 laps into a stint.
That's an interesting one because I had toyed with the idea of maybe doing a short 20-lap stint to start with. It's basically the reverse strategy of what we've gone with, but we ended up going with the short stint at the end.
Well, we were setting up for a 5-stop strategy, fastest way home with no safety cars, but unfortunately, Bruce had a bit of a slow start, shall we say, which dropped us a lap down early, and just been fighting back from there all day, really.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. Just had a message from our beloved missing Kai, Shane Van Gisbergen Turner. Wishing him all the best there, mate. He's at the hospital at the moment with his missus, so he is asking, but Steve, if he can have average points for this round.
No average points for the Enduros, unfortunately.
Yeah, I said to him it wasn't likely.
Nope, that roll stopped when this one jumped up.
Oh, that hurts.
It is, but it remains to be seen whether Mr. Kinnaman can score any points as well. That'll be sorted out in the week following, I'd imagine. So he might not.
Well, yes, that just opens the door right up for Dan Stevens here. I mean, what looks to be pretty much home and hosed race win, 300 points in the bag, less than 300-point gap.
Yeah,
it's now put him in the lead of the championship.
It will put him in the lead of the championship, but I believe Rob Herbert isn't around for Bathurst, so could swing back again.
Oh, the pendulum effect of the Enduro.
I could openly...
It's brutal.
Yeah, I could see us running the Gold Coast for the championship still.
Wow. It just throws up alternative after alternative after alternative.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, I'll have to Nick Winkley's been going pretty well tonight. He's fairly consistent there. He's a bit behind, but yeah, he's going good.
I believe that's
keeping it on.
Father and son team there. Oh, we've got driver switch in the 69 car. Brett Clark has joined the action. They're going to either look like geniuses very shortly, or they're going to look like mugs, unfortunately, if the other first and second place cars don't need to stop again.
He's got a bit of traffic here. See what can happen.
Well, we know Clark and traffic, he's going to come straight through that in about half a lap. The man's
could be interesting.
He's only got one setting and he's already on the back of Bennett and making the move. Look at that.
Yes, he's flying.
Through and clean there. I would imagine that this car will now drop out the fastest laps we've seen all day. Lap after lap. Fresh tyres, low fuel, tons of rubber on the track. It's on here.
What are we on? 147 laps. Yeah, it's been a mammoth race. Good luck. Yeah, everyone's been going well. I know my bum hurts, so I can imagine how that feels. Oh, and I've managed to get up and have a few Jim Beams and yeah.
A few Kurtz.
A few Kurtz for sure. Too many, mate.
I think there'll be a few more Kurtz.
Yeah, after party on Scott.
I think there'll be an after party and a hunting party for Scott Bainsworth when Kinnaman gets out of his car as well.
What
yes.
I did not want to be.
It's interesting to say the least. I don't think we can broadcast what happens after that. So, just looking there, we've got our regular viewer, Macintosh TV. They're just asking what happened with your race there, Troy.
My race. Jeez, where to start with my race? It wasn't pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but it was fun. I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, to be fair, we did say at the start you were taking on a lot there to jump into the pole position car, fresh into it. Had you done any test with Wayne's setup or anything over the week?
Oh, Pengilly spun. Sorry,
Ooh, have we got that? Yep, just in front of
I
second
think he just
position as
locked it
well.
up. I was just watching his times, and he's consistent 107s, real low 107s, and I think he's just pushed a bit hard, but he's going really well.
Tell you what, my crystal ball is absolutely amazing. Brett Clark has dropped to 106.172 and passed every single car that was in front of him at that point.
Ugh, he's flying.
So he's 38 seconds off second position. How many laps we've got? We've got 11 laps remaining. There's going to be some awesome times coming down now with this car.
Yeah, the way the track's rubbed up really well now, and everyone's in their groove. Gonna see some really good times coming out here, and I tell you what, I couldn't get anywhere near him.
Let's just watch here now. The best lap of the race so far has been a 105.7, and that was set by none other than, of course, Rob Herbert.
Yeah, imagine that's going to be under threat any second shortly now. So just watching the visual Nissan coming through turn 1 into 2 and 3. He's just murdering those curves like they're not even there.
You got 10 laps exactly to go.
It's
Clearly, that car's set up to soak the curbs.
Yeah, it's going to come down to do the top two need to do a splash and dash. I know that Dan Stevens has been in that car quite a bit longer than Bainsworth. Well, since Bainsworth last pitted.
And who's driving the Vauxhall at the moment, Steve?
Mr. Pengelly is driving the Vauxhall at the moment for all he's worth. Oh, we've got Kinnaman off.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, is that a moment?
He's had a huge moment there.
he's requested a pit stop, so that could be interesting.
Oh, Bennett's locked it up.
Kinnaman coming into the pits.
Everyone's pushing hard now. Nope.
No, it was
keep going.
Pengelly, mate.
Pengelly's coming for pit stop. Yeah, he's been in that car quite a long time there, so he definitely need to get some new boots on her.
For sure. Can he, oh, he's up behind Bainsworth.
105.626 on the last lap for Clark. Not far off.
That's best lap of the
that
race.
is the
No,
best
that
lap of
is
the
best
race.
lap.
Wow.
I don't need to change the batteries in the crystal ball just yet.
I'll tell you what, Pengilly's all over Bainsworth at the moment. And I hope he doesn't push too hard. He needs to come in, get fresh tyres, maybe. I don't know what he's planning, but he's on him. Not
And
that it's
clearly
going
that
to get him
car
anywhere,
needs some
but
fresh rubber
We're just
because
picking that up
it's got
now.
an auto pit.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Pengelly's looking pretty pissed about something here.
Now you've got to ask yourself:
Yeah.
has there been some chat between Kinnaman and Pengelly? Is there going to be some money changing hands if Pengelly actually just accidentally maybe taps the Vegemite car?
No, we don't operate like that here.
Yes.
I heard you
Nah,
do anything for a buck.
there has been a lot of controversy, but I think we're all we try and keep it clean.
I would say from looking at the attitude of the Pengelly car there is
Here we
that
go.
something has happened while he was getting past that he's not happy about.
Look, I've spoken to him a
Bainsworth
fair
side
bit
steps.
in regards to some older races and some stuff that went down, but what do? You can't carry on, from something that happened last race and intentionally try and make it harder for someone else the next race. You just run clean and just run your own race, mate.
Well, to be fair, looking at that lap time for Baines, it was 109.729. Wayne's running in the 109.5, so I'm wondering if Baines was trying to stroke this home. Are they in tyre and fuel issues?
He is
It's a
struggling.
good question.
So we've got Clark ran a 105.634 and a 105.626 the lap before, so he is absolutely hammering this car home. And
He is.
his next target is the race leader to unlap himself as well, so if Dan Stevens is going to make a stop, he needs to do it sort of soonish to keep that gap.
Well, it's a 45-second lead. I think that's just about a pit stop here.
Yeah, his last lap was 108.088 for Dan, 109.729 for Scott Bainsworth, and obviously 105.634 for Brett. Brett's just running for everything he can at the moment, try and get as close to the front as he can and hope they have to stop.
I'll
I
tell you
think
what,
he's gonna
Dan's running this track like clockwork. He's going really well.
Yeah, he's definitely going for it. He's closed right in on Dan Stevens over that lap. 108.256 for Dan at 105.814. So he's closing it 2 seconds at lap, 3 seconds a lap. Almost. That's quite a bit of pace to have this time of day, isn't it?
Oh, it's an exceptional pace. It
Yeah.
really is. He's really cracking on there.
Definitely looking at Bainsworth's times, he's gone back to 108.3, so he's tidied up whatever was going on there.
Maybe a slight roll bar adjustment.
And Peg Ellie's back into the 107.4s. Has he made a stop that we missed?
I don't think he has yet. I think he's pushing on.
According to the live timing monitor, he has made a single stop.
Ah, maybe he did then. Look at this, we've got the race leader being closed down now by third position. Not lap himself. They're definitely not planning on pitting now at this point in time. There's only 5 laps remaining now.
Yeah, I think they've left their sprint to the end just a little bit too short.
A bit of a lock up there.
And it's good to see Dan bring the car home. So it's the main driver bring the car home in what looks to be his first. I think this will be Dan's first win of the season, won't it, Steve?
Nice.
I think you're right, yeah, it will be actually. So he just needs to not get distracted here by Brett. He needs to just let him go and get on with it.
Yeah, I think just maybe sidestep, lift out of the throttle and let him go.
Yeah, Clark's got the toe right up the back straight now as well, so I'm sure he'll be throwing one down the inside anytime or coming up the back, as you say, Troy.
Give him a little thanks for coming in the rear.
You sure Dan's not running a Holden Commodore? Usually they've got one brake light.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Ford, you can hear him squeaking a mile away.
There we go. So Clark is through. He's back on the lead lap now as well. Unfortunately, we've only got 4 laps remaining for Brett. He's not gonna make any inroads into that. So it's the Bainsworth car he really needs to watch at the moment. He is 20 seconds behind and running 2 seconds a lap faster. So the maths don't add up unless Bainsworth has issues.
Yeah, what a night of racing. It's definitely thrown a bit of everything, hasn't it?
Yeah, totally. So we're just looking at the second place car now. He's just coming into the back straight now. He's coming into home straight rather right now, and on Clark, Brett Clark is just coming through the S's and into that. So he's not that far away.
He's had a moment.
Right in front of the race leader. Might need a change of pants afterwards there.
And check over your brake bias too.
Definitely.
So how did you go with tyres tonight, Troy? I managed to get 30 laps and I think I was down to about 60%. Yeah, how'd you go?
Yeah, not even close to that. I was running sort of 107s, 108s. I got 35 laps stint out of my first set, and that was I think 30% left on the front right.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you what, the one thing that nobody needs right now is a safety car, so if anything happens, it could throw a right spanner in the works.
Oh, absolutely.
What button's that? What button do I need to press?
Yeah. I am actually quite amazed there has not been a safety car. It's been really good.
It's been pretty
Everyone's
amazing.
sort of, yeah, they got their positions, stuck to it and not too much drama.
Definitely.
No, the drama.
Well, a little bit, but
a safety car wouldn't do anyone any good because it would finish under safety car at this point.
Oh, look, just a 1 lap dash to the end would be nice.
So Brett Clark's within 18 seconds of second position now. There's no way even he's going to close that down.
No, not at all. Look, this has been
Oh,
relatively drama.
Bainsworth's gone off, actually. Commentator's
Oh
curse.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
no.
really struggling for tyres at this point.
and we've known Bainsworth
What
to
do
be
we
the
got?
man to be able to keep the tire on the car.
I'm just watching the seconds tick off as Clark gets closer. So we're on lap 159 for the race leader, 2 laps to go. But they're both on the lead lap, so they still have, they're on lap 158 at the moment, so they've still got time. Bainsworth needs to keep it together.
Yeah. We got Dan Stevens, Scott Bainsworth in second, Brett Clark third, Jimmy Hoffer in fourth, David Kim in fifth, Wayne Dare sixth, Wayne Pengilly seventh, Matthew Mites eighth, Nick Winkler ninth, and Daryl Bennett in 10th. Great effort from everyone.
It is pretty awesome. And
You know,
there's,
the last couple are down 10 laps, but yeah, push on. Push on. It's all points, isn't it? That's all that matters.
Exactly. So just looking at the gap there is the full length of the front straight between second and third. So rapidly running out of laps to get up to second position.
Look, I think to say
Oof.
it's been a great night's racing is giving the boys immense credit. There's been no issues. I mean, the only dramas we had was sort of pre-race with the withdrawal of the race favourite.
Yes, yes.
I think Dave Kidman would argue with that one as well.
Yeah, and I actually thought we were going to lose, well, yeah, you guys. We thought we were going to lose Stephen Bruce tonight, the way it was going, so
Yeah,
yeah, it turned out right.
almost a
Apart from
non-starter.
stolen cars.
Stolen cars. We've had everything in this race so far.
Well, everyone says it's in Sandown. We're sure it's not in Mount Druitt. And that's it. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go.
We've
Here we
got
go.
the race leader on screen now. He's just going to come into the home straight in a second. And he's just entering the straight now for the second to last time.
We've got
Lights
Wayne
flashing.
up
That's it.
behind Hoffer too.
That
Here we
is
go.
the win.
Nice work. Good work, Dan. Nice work.
And here we go. We've got
Stoked for him.
Yeah, we've got Scott Bainsworth now coming through for second position. He's got Wayne Dare shoved right under the rear wing of that car. I can hear that Mercedes doing donuts on the front straight. He must be wrapped with that. That's an awesome comeback, and you're right, Troy, first win of the season for Dan Stevens there. And it wasn't all Rob Herbert either. They both ran a fantastic race there. And Bainsworth crashes it on the front straight, not realising people are still racing.
Yeah.
And he's reversing down the home straight. And Brett Clark comes through in third position there. So Jimmy Hoffa is in fourth. We've got the Kinnaman car in fifth, which will be under investigation for driver changes. And we got Wayne Dare in ninth. Sixth. Wayne Pengelly, which will also be under investigation for driver swaps in seventh position. Matthew Mites made a great job there in eighth. And look at that donuts there. I think somebody's happy, shall we say?
Yeah, for sure.
Just a little bit.
And I tell you what, well done to everybody who finished this race. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, good work, guys. Really good turnout, and yeah, it's been awesome to watch.
Definitely. So we will move to our normal, except we'll have more people than ever in here for the post-race interview. So let's get our race-winning crew down.
Parabolica moved
Go
in from
short,
V8 Supercars by Steve. Dan moved in from V8 Supercars by Steve.
Good evening and welcome to the post-race interview. Alongside us we have our race winners, Dan Stevens and Rob Herbert. Congratulations guys, that was an awesome effort, well done.
Yeah, cheers, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Cheers. Thanks very much.
Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
How was that monster of a race for you?
That was actually pretty good, eh? I enjoyed that 110%. It was awesome.
It's quite interesting being in the same room as well. It adds quite a bit different dynamic. No, that was a lot of fun. At least I had good internet this time.
Excellent, well done. Yeah, it didn't look like the move slowed you down either.
No, not at all.
Well done, guys. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Just on
Thank you,
that,
mate.
what is it like actually looking to your left or your right and knowing that your teammate's right there as opposed to the other side of the country?
It's a bit weird. We had to be careful with the screens, so he wouldn't, when you were doing the riding along and watching the race, he wouldn't put the actual dashboard cam on my car because I'm trying to drive on my screen and I'm seeing my car and 3 screens to my right. So I was we were careful to put it on television on his one and not on cockpit on my one, so not to be confusing. But it's good fun. It's a bit easier than using Mumble all the time.
Well done and welcome back, Rob. Awesome race.
Thank you.
Yeah, mate, done well. Good work.
Dan moved to V8 Supercars by Steve. Parabolica moved to V8 Supercars by Steve.
And unfortunately, I can't see any of the Scots on Mumble. Can you? Nope, it doesn't look like we've got.
Nope,
No.
they've taken their bat and ball and gone home.
Okay, so let's get third place down. I'll try that again.
Brett moved in from V8 UTES by Steve.
Keep getting out of
Ian
the way as
moved
well.
in from
I
V8
came around
Supercars
laughing and
by Steve.
Hang on. So, welcome to the post-race interview. We've got the third place car alongside us. We've got Brett Clark and Ian Hannon. How was that for you guys? You must be wrapped with third place.
I'll do, Steve. Yeah, good to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good result. I think we drove relatively well. I think we would have got second, but for a probably 1 kilometre an hour too quick attack into the pit lane and got myself a drive or stop go penalty. Otherwise, I'm sure second was in the bag.
Well, we were watching the last part of the race there, and you were closing in at an awesome rate of knots as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I was convinced he had to pit again.
Yeah, we thought
according to
maybe
my
Dan.
delta, he'd only done 3. So that was why I was pushing so hard. I thought he's still got to pit again, but I don't know.
Yeah, we were pretty sure he had to pit as well, but he looked like he managed to limp it home and disconnected before we could get hold of them for the post-race interview, and obviously found out what happened with Dave Kinnaman as well. So
I saw that were unlucky for Dave.
so
Yeah.
all the fun and games with the post-race interview we'll miss out on. But congratulations, guys, well done. We'll let you get back and enjoy it, and we'll see you at time for Bathurst again.
Cheers, mate.
Right. Cheers, guys.
I just like to, can I have a chat to Ian quickly?
Go on ahead.
Yep,
Ian,
go for
mate.
it.
Yeah, good work, mate. Good work.
Cheers.
You definitely managed to to keep the arse end of that wide.
A lot of fun there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, mate. Yeah, very happy to see you get there. It's good work.
First
Crazy.
podium on this in these main events as well.
Yeah, consistency, is the key.
Well
Aye.
deserved.
Cheers. Yeah.
All right, let you get back to it, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Mate.
See you, boys.
Brett moved to Leagues by Steve.
Wow.
Unreal.
Ian moved to V8
Does the
Supercars by
controversy
Steve.
ever end, Steve?
No, never. Because it keeps me awake at nights, unfortunately.
Oh, it does. I mean, there's something else now for the stewards to have a look at. Did the 2 Scots make the mandatory minimum 4 stops?
Oh, I hadn't looked at that.
Mm.
But okay, so well done, everybody, and we'll just end the broadcast here, and hopefully we'll see you at Bathurst for the 161,000 Ks there. So well done, and thanks for joining us in the booth, guys.
Oh, my bum.
Yeah, not a problem, mate.